What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You are tuned into the Cigars with Mac podcast. I am your host, Cigars with Mac. I'm so grateful to be before you today. I tell you guys, I've been really blessed with the universe has really been giving me a lot of topics to talk about, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm happy to be back podcasting again. It feels good. It feels real good to get certain things off my chest, get certain ideas off my mind. And, my goal, people, really is to provoke thought. I'm not here to change people. I'm not here to influence the way you think, the way you do things. I just want you to think, provoke thought. Today I'm smoking a La Roma de Cuba. Anyway, if you would like to hit me up for show topics, you can email me at info@cigarswithmacpod.com, or you can hit me up on Instagram at cigarswithmac or cigarswithmacpod. If you'd like to call, chop it up about some business, or even just chop it up. I have two phones. I do have an iPhone, so I have two iPhones, so if you hit me up on one and I'm not there, I'll be able to get it through the other phone. That's 682-227-1780, 682-227-1780. Today, y'all, I want to talk about, do women have game? I've spoken about game in the past, and when I say game, game simply means wisdom, knowledge. Everything in life has game. Everything. I don't care what anyone says. I have a friend of mine. He played D1 Division 1 level basketball. He walked on to the team, but there was a game and strategy that he used to maneuver his way like that. When you work a job, there's a game. There's a game involved when you're trying to move up the corporate ladder or you're trying to get a promotion. Oh yeah, there is a game involved. When a man is trying to talk to a woman, he's trying to, get betwixt her thighs. There's a game involved. There's some wisdom. There's some knowledge involved. Yes. Everything in life has a bit of luck, which is nothing wrong with that. Because in my opinion, luck is really about being in the right place at the right time and making the right decision. Most times when there's a bit of luck involved, you don't want to think too hard about it. It's not hard. When it's right, it's right. I can remember when I was dating my wife. And we dated for about 9 months, and I knew I wanted to marry her. I told her, "Hey, look here, I'm 21. If we don't get married now, I'm not getting married till I'm 30. You're a good woman, and I can see a great future with you." There was no big wedding. There was no big wedding ring. We got married in our pastor's study, and I didn't have much money back then, but after that, went to KFC, got a bucket of chicken, and went to the Red Roof Inn in Duncanville. So, those were some good times back then. Anyway, so basically what I'm saying, when you're in luck is all about, it's just timing, essentially. So anyway, do women have game? As you all know, I speak a lot about my mother and grandmother because there are two, and there are more women in my life who are very influential. There are two influential women in my life that impacted me, and I speak of their wisdom till present day. One of the things my mother always taught me. When you work a job, you're going to do more than just that job. That's just the way it is. There's no such thing as, if I'm the if McDonald's hired me to work in the kitchen as I don't know as the flip burgers, you better believe that not only am I going to learn how to flip burgers, I'm going to learn how to fry fries. I'm going to learn how to work that cash register. I'm going to learn how to work the drive-through. So it's not just me doing that one role. That's not how life works. So also my grandmother, some of the wisdom she imparted in me was one thing is she used to always say, it's one thing if you're looking good, you smelling good, you walking good, you're talking good, but your house dirty as fuck. See, people think that this shit we see online, for instance, Instagram, which is one of my favorite platforms, and I think it's probably one of the most popular platforms. On Instagram, we'll see IG models where they looking good, titties up, hair did, everything. But what we don't see is, and it's been exposed hundreds of times, millions of times, that a lot of times these women are living in disgusting ass houses, disgusting ass apartments. And that's not nothing. Women have been doing that. It's just now with the internet age, we're able to visualize it and see it online, and we're able to really give our critique about it. But these are some of the things my grandmother would say. People say you could tell a lot about a person by their house, by how they dress, but that's not necessarily true, because you got some people, they'll dress up, but then they got a nasty ass house. And then you got some people, they're plain Jane, but their houses are immaculate. Because if you're like me, I don't really invest too much in clothes and stuff like that. One thing I like is watches. I like cologne. And I'm a very modest man, but I enjoy like upgrades to my house, like making my kitchen stainless steel, changing out new shower heads, changing out the faucet, repainting. I like stuff like that. That's what I like. That brings me joy. So, you know, some things that people say a lot of times it's like, So those are some of the things my grandmother imparted in me. I spent the majority of the time around my mother's mom. On my dad's side, my grandmother was just raw dog. She had wisdom. She used to always tell me, you only get one mother in this world. And she said at her age, she was well into her late 80s, 90s then. She says, I still miss my mother to this day. Like my grandmother. For me, my grandmother was an intricate piece in raising me and my upbringing, because even though we left Monroe, Louisiana, when I was 5 years old, we would always go back home and visit. We would spend summers out there. My grandmother was just, I miss that woman. I miss her every single day. I never thought I could miss someone like that. Love someone like that. All of us miss her. And I know maybe I should get over it, but I can't, because that wisdom she had, that game that she had, oh man, you couldn't replace it. But nowadays, it's not just in Black America. You have mothers and grandmothers 15, 12 years apart. And you have 3 generations. You have great grandmothers in their 40s. I don't know how old this young lady was on my Facebook, but she was somewhat of a clown. And she would make posts and make little jokes, and she was what she was, it is what it is. But anyway, what made me unfollow her was when she said her grandchild. And this woman couldn't have been no older than me. I'm 35, I'll be 36. And it just saddened me because, ma'am, you failed. You failed. And what really trips me out is that this is norm, and it's not just in Black America. See, a lot of times we as people think all the negativity is on Black America, but the thing about it, sorry about that, guys. One, when you're black, your black skin prevents you from having to blend in. See, it's hard for us to blend in. Most races, they can blend in. Like if you're a Jew or a German or a Italian, you can sort of blend in because in America, the majority is white, or as they say, Caucasian. Now, if I go to Africa, I possibly could blend in, but once they see my facial structure, my wide shoulders, my height, they would then know that I'm not from there. Especially when they hear my accent. But I could somewhat blend in Africa. Somewhat. And so that's the thing. Being a black person, it's hard to blend in. And I'm going to keep it on topic as far as do women have game? Just follow me. And, do women have game? I'm going to say, yeah, women do have game. They do. Because for the most part, most women are physically weaker than men. Physically. So when you lack in physicality, what does that mean you have to do? You have to up it on the mental side. You have to become more tactical mentally. I'm not saying that women are smarter than men, and I'm not saying men are smarter than women, because I've met some sharp ass women now. Don't get it fucked up. But the majority of what I would say is men have to be intelligent. Not saying that a woman doesn't, but a woman, she has her beauty. She has titties. She has pussy. She has a big ass. She has curves. She has soft skin. When I get out the shower, guys, I don't really lotion up. I don't really have to. And number two, I already sweat a lot anyway, so lotion does me no good. But women, they have to lotion up. They have to be, dapper, and well, dapper is more of a masculine term, but they have to be, powdered up and soft skin, smelling good. That's women. So women do have game. Don't get it twisted. Even in the, let's say, for instance, I like to use the analogy. I like to use corporate America because that's where I've spent a lot of my time, and that's where a lot of my stories derive from. Just lighten my stick up some more, guys. Anyway, one of the things in corporate America is they talk this diversity bullshit. And I'm going to tell you why they do that. One, they kill two birds with one stone. They usually speaking of black people, non-blacks, and women. And they usually don't pay women as much as they pay men. That's just a fact. All this shit about women make more than men, black women make more than black men. Most brothers, especially for my generation, we hustlers. We're going to have 2 or 3 jobs. We're going to have a job, have a side hustle. Even when you're making good money, you still going to have extra money coming in from somewhere, because as a man, we understand things happen. We understand that. Like when I bought a house, I didn't just buy a house. I could have got a 3-bedroom because it's me and my wife, my 2 boys, but I got a 4-bedroom just in case. You just never know. Things can happen. So that's what you got to look at as a man. But as a woman, women have to tap into survival mode. I would say not necessarily more than men, but a lot of times they have to tap into survival mode pretty fast. I look at I was speaking of earlier about this YouTube channel where it's a brother. He does homeless videos with people in Atlanta, and believe it or not, guys, from what I'm looking at, the overwhelming majority are women. And what that shows me is those women either were not taught game or they didn't know how to tap into it. You know? So a lot of times when you see a woman homeless, she's usually burned bridges and nobody wants to deal with her. Nobody. She's literally burned that many bridges to the point where no random stranger will even take her in. I mean, how do you have all those female body parts and you don't have money, you don't have a place to stay? How? And we live in a generation now where back in the day, you know, what we would call sugar babies now, but what we would term as side pieces. Women knew they had to give something to get something. They knew that if a man said, "I'm gonna pay your rent for you," here goes a little change for the kids, here goes a little school, here goes right now school's about to get out. So around that August time frame, there will be begging for school supplies and school clothes for the kids. Mark my words. And they knew that they had to get nasty to get that money for them kids. But I watched a video where a young lady said that she wanted to, number one, she was getting her master's degree in accounting. And she literally said that she just wants a sugar daddy and she wants someone to just pay her rent without her having to give up anything. And as we all know, as we get older in life, we know that there's no such thing as something for nothing. That's just not how the world works, people. It's not how it works. See, men, we know that. The majority of men know that. The majority of men know you have to, we know that if I go to a job and I want to get paid this money, this $20 an hour, this $25, this $35, this $40 an hour, man, I got to give these people 8 to 10 hours of work today. Now, one thing about men, what we do is once we, depend on what type of position we're in, and this is men and women, we figure out an easy way to do it. We figure out how it becomes effortlessly for us. You know, because let's be honest, nobody wants a hard life. Let's cut the shit. People hollering about, oh, they want it hard and all that. No, we don't. I want things to be as easy as possible. But that ain't the world I live in. I know that's not even true, but it would be nice. So, you know, when it comes to women who are in situations to where they're homeless, you got to ask yourself, are you that rebellious? Yeah. Like one of the big things I hear people say nowadays, oh, this woman is not tapping into her femininity. What the fuck does that mean? You're a woman. It ought to come natural to some degree. You know, or a man, he's not tapping into his masculine energy. Man, I'm a goddamn man. He or she is emotional. Man, everybody's emotional. See, we get here and we use terms that really don't make any damn sense. Like one of my favorite things I always tell people, like when I go on a job interview, and they'll ask me what are my salary requirements. Now, I've worked for one company for a good majority of my adult life so far. I've since left that organization, so whenever they would ask me what I would want, I know the pay scale. I kind of know how things work there, but in other industries, I don't know, so I always ask them, what's your budget? And whenever they don't want to give me a straight answer, I know it's some bullshit. Especially for a salary job. Now, hourly job, I'll take less than what I make salary because I know what hourly I'm going to work overtime. See, and I know eventually I'll climb up to the hourly rate, or I'll end up leaving the company or getting into a different role. So that's how I circumvent something like that. But anyway, as I was saying earlier, women have to know how to, those that are homeless and those that are on bad luck, they got to learn how to tap into and get some game. They got to get some game because one of the things I've noticed is that, and this is just my opinion, but I find that women are a lot more stubborn than men. They say men have a lot of pride, and we do, but a man, we'll do what we have to do. If I got to work it, I've made excellent salaries and made big money, but I've also made what one would call minimum wage before. I've also taken a step back sometimes in my life because I had a bigger plan at stake, But most women, once they make a certain amount of money and they've been making that money, they'll be at work miserable, hating their superiors, and instead of them leaving the job and starting over and doing something else, they'll put up with that bullshit. Now, on one hand, from a mental standpoint, that takes some tenacity. Excuse me, guys. But on the other hand, I'm at the point in my life where I'm just not putting up with certain shit. Once I left the army, got out the army, people, I no longer am bound by a contract. So if I don't like something at a job, I can get my ass up and leave, which I have done. I don't have enough fingers and toes to tell you how many jobs I've quit. It's too many to name. So that's one thing. So like I said before, I'm not saying women don't have game. Y'all do have game. But what I'm saying is a lot of y'all not using it in the right way. As I mentioned earlier, my mother and my grandmother are two of the biggest influences in my life. I remember my mother, my mom is around 61 now. And I remember my mom, she had done college when she was younger. And fast forward, she went back in her 50s and she got her bachelor's and her master's because she wanted to be a teacher. Bad. It's something she loves to do. It's what I would consider her calling. And she took that test, the teacher certification, I know 3 or 4 times. And she finally did it. I don't think I have that tenacity to do that. I'm the kind of person, hey, after once, maybe twice, if I see it's not gonna make it, I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm not wasting no more energy. That's not her. She's not doing that. But that's how I get down. Because I told myself when I got out the army, a motherfucker can't tell me a goddamn thing no more. Why? Because I'm a respectful person. I approach people in a respectful way. But at the same token, I will not tolerate disrespect at all. I've been in situations to where I've taken losses because respect for me is very important. And as a man, you understand that. You understand that you have to watch how you talk to people because you may end up meeting that person a couple of years from now and that person may be over you. That person may be the key that you need to go through a door. So you want to be careful how you treat people. And as I get older, I learn to always leave on a good note. And that's something I find that some women have a problem with. Some women is always got the end bad. It can't just be, hey, we're gonna stay amicable and we're gonna be peoples for life. Some women do, but some don't. Some men also. So what I'm saying is, ladies, a lot of y'all have the ability to really influence society. Because let's be honest, as a kid, if I would have had and maybe it may have been a distraction, but if every teacher I would have had would have been smoking hot, beautiful, cleavage showing, and she told me, hey, you can hang out with me if you get all A's. I'm finna get all A's. That's the ability women have. Not just that. And most women have it's like when I started training dogs years and years ago, one of the things I learned was that most women make good dog trainers because their voice is soft. It's a motherly instinct. And men, we have a dominant energy to us. Like when I talk to my dog, I have to actually make my voice pitch a little higher so she knows I'm not scaring her sometimes. You know? And you get more done that way, believe it or not. And that's something my wife showed me. That was some game my wife showed me. See, I have no problem learning anything from a woman. I would never say a woman can't teach me shit. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell that lie. But what I will say as a man, majority of my lessons came from other men in life. You know, and when it comes down to game, women, unfortunately, people say women are emotional. Well, we're all emotional. We're all emotional creatures. But it's just society is going to take a little bit pity on women because they're the weaker vessel. No matter how much you have, you know, what we call feminist ideology ingrained in society now, society still takes sympathy on women. That's why whenever a war breaks out, the first thing they evacuate are the women and the children. Because the men, believe it or not, we can fend for ourselves. I'm telling you, we can. Men, at least me personally, I've been in situations in life where I tapped into what we call survival mode. And what does that mean? For me, in survival mode, I learned to block out everything and think, how am I going to strategize this next move? I didn't have the luxury of living with people and going back to my mom or going back to my dad's house. I did not have that luxury. And I imagine I could have if I wanted to, but as a man, I knew I had to figure it out. And a lot of times, some people, they know that they have a crutch to lean on, so they won't ever tap into survival mode. I hear some men say, I'm gonna go back to my mom's house and just save some money. That's stupid to me. You a man, especially if you single, got kids. You got to be able to walk around your house, and as a man, you got to figure it out. As a man, you got to figure that shit out, people. Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. Yes, we all like what is familiar. But it's the unknown that we have a problem with. And I'm guilty myself, so don't get it twisted. I'm guilty my darn self. So what I'm saying is, a lot of times, as a man, society don't give a damn about us. Now, if you're a white man, things a little different. It's just the way it is. It's how the world's set up. But what I've learned is that women that have game, and I'm talking about real game, those women are winning. Those women are winning. Do you hear me? I hear some men say, oh, I don't like this kind of woman. I don't like a fat woman. I don't like this woman. You know, and that's fine. That's fine. You like what you like. But I know one thing, life always gets the last laugh. Same way as women. Again, when you hear women say, I like a man that's this tall, that tall, or make this kind of money. Like I said before, I don't know any man that's going to lead with his salary. And there are men who do it, but a real man don't have to do that. That's corny. That's corny as fuck. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not the best looking guy. You know, and that's something else. Me and a friend of mine, we were talking about this the other day. How's a motherfucker 6 foot 1, 6 foot 2, 6 foot 3, 6 foot 4, 6 foot 5, 7 foot? How the fuck are you not winning in life like that? People, you know, it's like when I hear a tall guy say he can't get no women. I'm like, how? When I was in school, most tall dudes got women just because they was tall. And we were talking about how guys like us, short guys like us, man, we had to work on ourselves. We had to improve our conversation. We got to smell good, groom good, be a hell of a provider. That's how we win. That's how we win. And back to what I was saying, do women have game? Yes, women have game. Not all women. Not all, people say. I wouldn't say the majority of women do, but I would say there are some women with game. And I would say also that women have a habit of getting comfortable real fast. Yeah. I've noticed that. As a man, I'm never comfortable. Because I know at any time, at any moment, at any second, I'm hit with a curveball. But except now, my age now, things don't bother me. I'm not really blindsided because why? I stay in the fighting stance. I keep my dukes up. Anytime something comes, I'm ready to sprawl. I'm ready because I've been hit with so much in life that what more can be done? What more can be done? Excuse me, that's how I look at it. What more can be done? There ain't more that can be done to me. One thing my mother always taught me, she said, son, always face your problems. Don't run. Because you're going to have to face that shit again anyway. And eventually you're going to have to deal with it. See, that's game right there. So I would never say, oh, women ain't got no game, or a bitch can't teach me nothing. No. I don't have that type of thinking right there. Oh no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. But I'll say this much right here. Most women most women are not really using game to their advantage. Some women that do use game, they're using it for fucked up reasons, and it's not benefiting them. You see? So, you got to learn how to, how should I put it? And you would think with women being masters of compartmentalization, that they would understand that, but a lot of them don't. A lot of times women think if I just keep playing dumb, that eventually this man will initiate. No, it's not going to happen. Most men are not going to do that, especially the older they get. Now, a young guy, he'll initiate and, and play mental tug of war with you, but an older guy like me, I'm not doing it. You got to open up your goddamn mouth. I've heard people say, we've been together this amount of time, you should know. No, the fuck I should not know. That's not my job. I'm not trying to know. That's like right now, I don't commit numbers to my head anymore. I don't have to. I have a cell phone. I have the cloud. It's never going away. Even if technology crashes, there's a backup. We're so advanced in technology now that going back will do us no good. Every generation is advancing. So I will answer the question. Women do have game, and I think I've been answering it anyway. Women have game, but not all of them. And a lot of them are not tapping into the right game. So anyway, guys, thank you for tuning into the Cigars and Mac podcast. I hope that I said something, like I said before, to provoke thought. That's what it's about, man. Provoking thought, thinking differently. The way you think at 40, you shouldn't think that way at 50. Your mind should have been elevated by then. Every year you're supposed to be different. And different doesn't mean you changing people. It means you should be enhancing. You should be growing. You should be doing more. You shouldn't be stuck in it's motherfuckers I know right now. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. It's motherfuckers I know right now. I've been knowing 10 plus years. These motherfuckers in the same spot. They haven't grown. They haven't advanced one iota. They still going through the same bullshit. As a man, you can't afford to do that. Especially as a man. But anyway, people, I'm out of here. Thank you for tuning into the Cigars and Mac podcast. I'm out.